Hello students. Today our topic of discussion is double column cash book which has a bank column and a cash column. That means what happens is we will be recording the bank transaction as well as the cash transaction that happens in a business. Okay. So we will begin with the sum, and first of all I would like to discuss with you the format of it. So here is the format of the double column cash book. It is same as the um, single column cash book, but only difference is here we will be having two more columns which will be cash and bank separately. Okay, so now we will move on to the sum. Now before I begin with the sum, I will just like to discuss with you certain things, important things which you need to keep in your mind. See, if we are given with the balance, that is the opening balance of cash and opening balance of bank, then we will write it as in the debit side with the first opening date as to balance BD. Okay, and if suppose an overdraft balance of bank is given, overdraft means it is a negative balance, so that time we will be recording that overdraft balance by the opening balance in the credit side by writing as by balance BD in the bank column. Okay, so this much was very much important for you to know. Now let us begin with the transactions. So here we have the books of um, P Limited, and the year is ending on 31st March 2011. Okay, so first here you will find that opening balance is given April 1 2010, balance of cash in hand and balance at bank. So we will simply consider this as the opening balance. So we will write it in the debit side of cash book, and respectively we will write it in the cash column as well as in the bank column. Okay, then on April 7 we have received from Suresh. So this is a normal entry, that means cash is received, so we'll write it in the in the debit side of the cash book, and in the cash column we'll write the amount since we have received the cash, received this in cash. Okay, then April 10, cash deposited in bank. So here this entry is very important because this is known as contra entry. Contra entry means where both the bank balance as well as the cash balance will be affected by a transaction. So how does it affect? See, when we are depositing cash in the bank, what happens is from the business cash amount is decreasing. Okay, but in the bank balance is being increased, so this affects both the cash account as well as the bank account. So this type of transaction is known as contra entry transaction, and we will record this in both the bank column as well as in the cash column. Okay, so here you see on 1st April 2010 we are writing the opening balance. So cash we had 80,000 and bank balance we had 20,000, so we have written it as to balance BD. Then we have received from Suresh, so on April 7 we'll write it out as to Suresh account, and we'll write in the cash column 5,000. Okay, then April 10, this is the contra entry, that is why we mention it as in the LF as C. We refer it as C. So contra C means contra entry. Okay, so we write here to cash account, and since our bank balance is being increased, so in the debit side we'll record this 10,000 in the bank column, will not write in the cash column. Why? Because we are depositing cash in the bank, so bank value increases and our cash value decreases. Okay, same thing in the credit side. By April 10 we'll write by bank account, and the amount I'll write it in the cash column. This shows that the cash from the business is being decreased. Okay, now next we have April 10. So after April 10 we have 2nd May. So from 2nd May we have received a check from Ramesh, and we have deposited the check on the same day in the bank. Okay, so since the check is being received and deposited in the same day, we will be recording this in the cash book. But sometimes it might happen that we are receiving the check on a particular day, but on the same day we are not depositing it. Okay, So in that case, what we will do is, whenever we are receiving the check, we will simply pass a journal entry. There will be no entry in the cash book. But if we have received the check and deposited in on the same day, then we will be only entering in the cash book. Okay. And if nothing is mentioned about the date of submission or date of depositing the check, we will assume that the check is being deposited on the same day. Sometimes nothing will be mentioned, so that time we will assume that the check is being deposited on the same day and we will do the entry in cash book. But if it is mentioned that the check is not yet deposited in the bank, then we will simply pass the entry in the journal entry, and on the day whenever we will be depositing the amount in the bank, on that day only will enter the amount in the cash book. Okay, now regarding this thing, this transaction, tomorrow I'll give you a sum, so in that it will be much more clear to you. So just for the time being, you just keep this in your knowledge. Okay, so May 2nd, we have received the check from Ramesh and deposited the amount in the bank on the same day. It is mentioned, so that is why we are recording it in the cash book, and we are writing it on debit side to Ramesh account 5,000. Okay. Now next entry will be on the credit side. May 6th, we have paid to Ravi 20,000. So by Ravi account, we'll write it as 20,000 in cash. So this ends the transactions. Now we will just simply write the total receipts. We'll add up the cash column and bank column of debit side, and total payments will simply add up the cash column and bank column of the credit side. And as I told you, cash book always shows a debit balance, so we will have to balance it in the credit side. We'll balance it and bring this balance on the next opening balance as April 1, 2011 by to balance BD. Okay, so same thing, but only the difference is cash and bank, both the columns are being considered here. So this much for today. If you face any problem in the sum, kindly ask me your doubts. Thank you, children.